Sometimes it's nice to have a slip underneath your dresses if they're a bit sheer. Fabrics like linen are beautiful and soft, but they can be a bit see-through, so a little slip is a great way of just giving yourself a little bit of modesty. What I like to do is make myself a zero waist slip. To do that, I take a piece of stretch fabric that's a kind of nude colour, and to calculate that measurement, I take my hip measurement and multiply that by 0.9, and that gives me the length that I need around my hips. And for the depth, I make that 60 centimeters. Then I just overlock that center seam, which will be my center back, and then I overlock the top and the bottom of the tube. Next, I'm going to just create a hem. Now you could use a cover stitch if you wanted, but I find that just using a zigzag is sufficient. If this slip is any longer than 60 centimeters, you'll need a split in order to work, but generally the waist to knee is about 60 centimeters, and that will be adequate for walking. So little backpack and zigzag the whole way around. Like, and I've only turned it once so that with the zigzag it remains stretchy. Next, I'm going to turn that through so it's the right way out, and I'm going to mark the quarter points. So first of all, if I fold it in half, I know that the seam is the center back, and I'm actually just going to use a friction marker to mark that initially. And then I'm going to fold it the other way so the center front and center back are matching, and then I can mark the side quarter points. Next, I'm going to take some underwear elastic. This is a soft plush elastic with a scalloped edge. This is going to be nice and soft on my waist. I find if I go narrower, it's a bit uncomfortable. So this measures my waist with a little bit of stretch, not much, because I don't like things too tight. To sew the elastic together, I'm just going to create a little overlap and do a narrow seam. Just sewing up and down a couple of times to make it nice and secure and snip those threads like that. And then I'm just going to fold that over and sew that edge down. And snip those threads. So that raw edge will be in the inside and that finished edge will be the outside. Now I need to mark my quarter points on the elastic, and I'll use pins for that. So the center front, line up the center front and the center back, mark those. And then I'm going to pin them to the skirt. So I'm going to have right sides together, and I like to start from the center back. Now the scalloped edge is going to face away from the overlocking edge. So a pin in there, pin my quarter points. Quarter points are the center front, center back and side seams. Not that this has side seams, but you know. And there. Next, I'm going to set my machine to a medium zigzag, so 2.5 and 2.5, and again I'm going to start from the center back, and I'm going to sew just above the scalloped edge, so along that edge. So to start, I take the pin out and I just do a couple of stitches. And then I put the needle down to hold it secure, because I'm going to pull, because at the moment the elastic is a lot smaller than the waistline. So if I give that a little pull and line that up and hold it firmly behind, and I pause, and when I pause I make sure the needle is down. and close the circle, trim your threads. So you can see that's my first row of stitching. Now I'm going to fold that over so that will be smooth and you'll just have the scalloped edge, and I'm going to sew along the bottom edge using the same zigzag. So a couple of stitches to get started, needle down to hold it nice and secure, and then I give that a nice pull, and then I just pull the fabric away from the elastic to make sure it's not bunching up on the inside. Whenever I pause the needles down, and just when I'm sewing, watch what I do with my thumb. I'm using that to constantly just pull the fabric away from the elastic. And close the circle and trim your threads. And there you have it, a little elasticated slip. Is that not the quickest slip you will ever make? And zero waste, yay! Here it is, my zero waste slip. Not the most glamorous item, but perfect for under sheer garments, and perfect for your Edith smock if you've made it in linen or silk and cotton, which can be a bit transparent.